Top 10 Angriest Shark Tank Moments. Shark Tank's decade-long run has given its viewers more memorable moments than we can count. ABC's reality TV show teaches us not just the do's and don'ts of business, but the most important lessons of all: expect the unexpected. In this video, we'll be going through the moments that got us shouting at our TVs the hardest. This is Top 10 Angriest Shark Tank Moments. Number 10. Water Fight. Meditation is supposed to be calming. That is, unless it's on Shark Tank. Yoon-ha Kim, the CEO behind the meditation app Simple Habit, pitched her venture as a way to bring the art of meditation to the modern age. Mark Cuban didn't seem to agree. He called the CEO a gold digger for going on the show after already raising $2.8 million for other investors. Cuba's co-host Richard Branson disagreed and splashed his glass of water onto Cuban. With a forced smile on his face, Cuban returned the favor. Despite the laughter, the tension was definitely palpable. Number 9. Bad Attitude. During the early seasons of Shark Tank, businessman Scott Jordan came on to pitch his clothing company, Scott Vest. Jordan's appearance on the show would become legendary due to his pompous attitude. With $1 million on the table, Jordan turned the tables on the Sharks by rejecting their offer and willingly leaving empty-handed. Watching the episode years ago, we collectively scratched our heads at the decision, but maybe Jordan knew what he was doing. Years after the showing, Scott Vest was now a multi-million-dollar business. Number 8. Girls Don't Cry. Mickey Bay came onto the show fighting to keep her struggling eyelash extension business alive. After going through her pitch, the Sharks were unimpressed, but Bay wasn't going to give up so easily. With tears in her eyes, she shouted back, "I can do this, I've done this myself." Barbara quickly offered her advice, telling her that whenever she sees a woman cry, she knows she doesn't have potential. Bay offered a counterpoint, but ultimately left with no deal and only this one piece of advice: businesswomen don't cry. Number 7. Boys do cry. Unlike Mickey Bay, Philip Lapus had different luck when he melted into tears in the middle of his pitch. The Sharks were interested in his presentation for Kronos Golf, but wanted to learn more about the man behind the company and asked what inspired him. Unable to hold back his emotions, Lapus revealed that he and his fiancée were in a long-distance relationship and he couldn't afford the flight to see her. Lapus cried as he said he would do anything to provide for the love of his life. The moment was powerful and helped seal the deal as the Sharks wiped tears off their faces. But we can't help but wonder why those two meltdowns had such different effects on the judges. Number 6. Pilot. Shark Tank has been home to dramatic moments from the very first episode. Co-founders Omar Solomon and Nick Friedman pitched their franchise College Hunks Holding Junk and were quickly offered a deal. Excited, the two founders took a moment to discuss their offer in private. They shocked the Sharks when they returned only to reject the offer and then counter-offer with an unrealistically high amount. The Sharks berated the duo, calling the deal off only to have them all talk back. The ensuing fight resulted in the show's very first founder meltdown. Number 5. All or Nothing. Donna and Ray Khalife jumped into the Shark Tank to pitch their subscription gift service Surprise Ride. After their pitch went off without a hitch and they received a deal from Robert, they surprisingly turned down his bid, hoping other sharks would jump at the opportunity. This did not pan out. When there were no other deals made, they begged Robert to offer them the deal that he had just been rejected. Unfortunately for them, Robert held his position and they left the show empty-handed. Number 4. Holding Back Tears. Cool Wazoo is a 5-in-1 baby cover that founder Janelle Mills presented to the Sharks back in Season 4. After nearly nabbing a deal from Lori, she eventually backed off, leaving Mills dealless. Struggling to hold back her emotions, what ensued was one of the most awkward moments in the show's history, where Mills visibly fights to compose herself. Surprisingly, the act worked, and the Sharks agreed to invest in Cool Wazoos. Number 4. Real Estate Scam. Founder Aaron McDaniel pitched his tycoon real estate service as a way to get average people to buy real estate. Unfortunately for him, the Sharks were suspicious. Mark Cuban compared his presentation to a scam, and O'Leary asked the CEO if he had ever been convicted of a crime. This disastrous public showing for McDaniel was enough to tank the company entirely. Number 3. Gross Out Pitch. Usually you know what to expect of an episode of Shark Tank. Some tension, some drama, and some laughs. But the creator of the Licky Brush shocked all of us when she presented her latest invention. The tongue-shaped brush was designed so you could brush your cat's hair with your tongue. In Omara's own words, you can finally lick your cat just like a mama cat licks her young. Truly the product we were all waiting for. Both the Sharks and the audience at home gagged, and O'Mara left with no deal. Number 2. Cuban disrespects the founders. Two brothers stepped onto the stage of Shark Tank to present their radical new social network for doctors and patients titled Rolodoc. Mark Cuban hated the presentation so much that when the pitch was over, he stood up, took the brothers by the hand, and told them they had given the worst pitch in the show's history. In an interview, Cuban went into more detail. Typically, I don't like to be mean to entrepreneurs, but these were two doctors whom I think they just thought they could mislead us into thinking that because they're doctors, they're smarter than all of us. The brothers left without a deal. Number 1. Sharks infighting. Regarded by fans as the most intense fight in Shark Tank history, Scully founder Christopher Gray had no idea what he had signed up for. After struggling to pay for college himself, Gray was inspired to create an app that simplified the scholarship application process. His story touched the hearts of the sharks, and he quickly reached a deal. Unfortunately for him, this sparked an uproar among some of the sharks, who felt the deal was made too hastily over what was essentially charity. The fight got so nasty that Robert, Mark, and Kevin all decided to walk out. And that's all the time that we have for today. What did you think of this list? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to drop a like and ring that subscriber bell to stay up to date on future videos.